Hi everyone, it's May 7, 2009. I'm Dwight Schmuck. This is the Schmuck Look. Well, it's been kind of an exciting little week, hasn't it? The oil spill has now reached the Chandler Islands. It's a wildlife refuge off the coast of Louisiana. Way to go, BP! You know, the whole damn thing could have been avoided, really, folks, had our regulators insisted, as does Norway, that they put these blowout switches on the oil platforms. These are remotely activated switches that, in case of something like this happening, automatically shut everything down. This particular platform had the manual switches, which, as we know, because of the explosion, etc., didn't friggin' work. But, our regulators said, well, we'll save the company $500,000 because that's what these switches cost. It's $500,000 a piece. We'll save BP that, hey, everything for the stockholders and the executives. Why, that $500,000, why, that can sure go to, golf club fees and, lobbyists and, give us little gifts, that kind of thing. Nice going, guys. Oh, you're so cute. You all ought to be given sponges and have to wipe up every bloody rock. All of you. Save them $500,000. Norway says, you want to drill here offshore? Fine. You will put those switches on. BP, you saved the $500,000. And how much did it cost you? Oh, that's economics. I think maybe you MBAs ought to go back to school. Start at kindergarten. Get it right, fellas. Next Monday or Tuesday, I forget which it is, it's May 11th, there's a thing going on in D.C., and I'm planning to call the switchboard and be one of those who's going to flood the switchboard about the don't ask, don't tell policy, because they're thinking of keeping it going just a little while longer so the Pentagon has ample opportunity to study this. And I know this is off the mark from the BP thing, but, hey, discrimination sucks, regardless where, when, who. Discrimination, blanket policies, not only protect, they cover. And, folks, I'm Vietnam era, and I clearly remember that the Viet Cong were much more afraid of the Australian military than any and everybody else. And at the time, Australia was the only country in the world that allowed gays to serve in the military. Now, I'm thinking, you got a war situation, you probably want the enemy to be scared. But not now. We have to study it first. I think some of the guys doing the studying should be on the front lines just a little while. Let them study that for a change. That might be... I'm thinking that would be a good thing, actually. And, as long as we're talking about discrimination, one more time here. This new law in Arizona, and they're probably going to pass it in Texas and all of that, where the police can stop and demand your papers, if they think you're not an American citizen, and this is to provide us with additional security somehow. Again, it's a discriminatory thing. If you're dark-skinned with brown eyes and black hair, it's likely you'll get stopped at some point just for having dark skin, brown eyes, and black hair. Prove you're an American. As I said the other day, you could really if you wanted to, stem the illegal aliens coming over. But that would require the DAs, the police, etc., the immigration authorities to get off their butts and do a job they're being paid to do. But instead of that, we'll pass more stringent laws that give an illusion of doing something instead of actually doing something. But Lord knows it's smoke and mirrors time. It's always smoke and mirrors time. And these damn fools wonder why they don't work. They can't enforce the laws they've already had, so let's pass another one that's going to take even more time, more paperwork, and probably more manpower. Are you getting the general drift here, people? They're making jobs in a particular sector to keep us all afraid of each other. Personally, and maybe it's the schmuck in me, but I ain't scared. Of you, of them, I ain't scared. And, it occurs to me, that must put the fear into them a whole lot. Why don't we all act like this is the home of the brave? The land of the free, the home of the brave. Just for, a few days anyhow, it might be a good idea. Let's try to practice it this weekend. Last week was May Day, the International Distress Call. Well, you know what? It's the 7th of May. Let's make that something too. The I'm Not Scared Day. And I'm not. Even though those in power dearly want me to be scared of something so that they can, protect me at just a little extra cost. Fellas, I ain't scared of the thems that you want to shout about, and I sure as hell ain't scared of you. I'm Dwight Schmuck. That's today's Schmuck Look. Peace, everyone.